What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. UFC 260 is over, and it was a crazy night of fights. In the main event, Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this one made me sad. This one made me sad because I really didn't want to see Stipe get knocked out like that. That was a bad knockout. But I mean, anyone who Francis knocks out, it's always a bad knockout. I was afraid for Stipe going into this fight. I was pulling for Stipe to win, but Francis Ngannou is a scary, scary man. He's so dangerous. He is so big and strong. It's ridiculous. That man is a genetic freak of nature, and the size difference between him and Stipe was clear, and the strength difference was clear, and the inevitable happened. Stipe Miocic got knocked out, and the way that fight was going, he was going to get finished sooner or later, because that Ngannou that was in there was an intelligent, patient, calm Ngannou, and his improvements didn't only have to do with his mentality and him not throwing wild punches. It has to do with his technical ability and his boxing as well. His ability to mix his martial art. He wasn't just winging punches like we have seen in some previous fights. No, he had a lot of technical punches, straight punches, hooks, uppercuts when necessary. Right? He was sending jabs to the body. He was throwing head kicks. He was throwing leg kicks. Like, we don't normally see this variety of strikes from Ngannou, and we don't normally see this calm presence that he had. Now, he doesn't always rush people, but this Ngannou was calculated, and he seemed like a veteran. He seemed like an experienced fighter, and that made the whole difference in this fight. Stipe in the first round, he was trying to keep his distance. He was trying to stay safe. He didn't throw much offense because he did not want to get in that danger zone in the first round, and that ultimately bit him because he did need to throw more offense. But how, like, it's easy for any of us to sit down and say, go ahead, throw more offense, you need to throw more. But could you imagine standing in front of that behemoth trying to throw more, knowing what coming back your way? Like, that is a firefight that I personally do not want to get into, and Stipe did not want to get into that kind of firefight either. And it makes sense. You saw every time Ngannou touched Stipe, we saw the power. He would move Stipe across the octagon with a jab, with a kick. Francis Ngannou hit Stipe with his toes and sent him flying. It's like, the power was ridiculous. He cracked Stipe at the very start of the fight. That first punch that he cracked Stipe with was a huge punch, and Stipe still managed to keep fighting. Stipe had a tremendous chin in this fight. It sounds weird to say that someone has a tremendous chin when they got knocked out in the second round, but those shots that he ate from Francis, he could have been knocked out 4 times before that. So Stipe is still my boy, you know. I'm not gonna jump off the train because he lost, but at the same time, I've always been a fan of Francis Ngannou, and this is no different. If Francis Ngannou was fighting anyone other than Stipe, I would have been backing him, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that we now have 3 African champions. That's so cool. And yeah, Francis' story is such a crazy one. They really need to make a movie on that story, and I'm happy that he's now able to say that he reached the pinnacle of the sport. You know, he's made it to the top, and I'm very happy for him. I would love to see Francis versus John Jones next, because I think Stipe needs to either retire. I mean, Stipe still has it. There's nothing wrong with him. If he chooses to retire, so be it. He will still go down as the greatest heavyweight of all time. But if he doesn't want to retire, I think he could come back after he takes some time off, because that was a bad knockout. So he needs to take quite a bit of time off. And knowing Stipe, he's probably crazy enough to try to fight Francis again, which I'll be down for. And I think that Stipe does have what it takes to beat Ngannou. But I think if they fought 10 times, this version of Ngannou, I say he beats Stipe 8 times. Yeah, because this version of Ngannou was no joke. no joke at all. Fighting Ngannou was almost like fighting a big stone, fighting a brick wall. Stipe would throw a leg kick and it was like he kicked a wall. Like he tried to move Ngannou, tried to land a punch on Ngannou, and it was like nothing. Ngannou was just unstoppable. It almost reminded me of Juggernaut from the X-Men, and he's just running and you can't stop him. That's how it felt with Ngannou. So we see Ngannou dropped Stipe in the first round. Stipe tried to wrestle Ngannou. Ngannou sprawled, a perfect sprawl, and then the scary part is he didn't just sprawl. He used his cat-like reflexes and he spun to Stipe's back, and then he started to unload punches. Honestly, I thought that would have been the end of the fight right there, but Stipe manages to survive. Then boom, he gets a head kick. Stipe manages to survive, and that was a shaky round for Stipe. Second round comes out again, and Ngannou drops him, and once again starts raining down punches as Stipe is trying to get up. And Daniel Cormier put it perfectly. When Stipe was trying to escape, he turned and he countered Ngannou, and he landed a beautiful right hand on Ngannou. And that's the next thing. Ngannou's a beast in his own right. He could eat shots like nothing, because let's not forget, Stipe knocks out a lot of people. He connected flush on Ngannou, and it kind of staggered him a little bit, and Stipe got overzealous, and that was the end. That was a mistake. He connected and he ran in thinking, yes, this is my chance, while he himself was still rocked from getting dropped earlier. And Francis connected with a beautiful quick check left hook. And like, these are the things, like, Francis boxing is really coming together. It's not just wild hooks, and he's not just swinging like in his fight with Rosenstrike. No, he threw a clean left check hook. He threw jabs to the body. He dropped Stipe with a power jab. Like, Francis is for real now, and that's a scary thought, because his skill is starting to catch up with his attributes. And it's like, the time to beat Francis would have been 3 years ago when Stipe did, because it almost seems impossible at this point. And I will say it right now, I don't care how much weight John Jones puts on, I do not think that John Jones beats Francis Ngannou. But it's an intriguing fight, of course, because who knows how John Jones is going to look at heavyweight? Who knows the technique that John Jones is going to come with? Because John Jones is highly regarded as one of the most intelligent fighters in the UFC. So if anyone could come up with a game plan to combat Francis, it would be John Jones. So I'm very interested to see the fight. I just don't think that he would be able to implement his grappling on Francis, and I think that if you can't grapple with Francis and you can't wear Francis down, I think you're going to sleep. And this patient Francis is not going to get tired like he did the first time he fought Stipe. So I just don't see John Jones taking down Ngannou and holding him down. So I think Ngannou wins that fight, and I'm pretty sure when they put out the odds for that fight, Ngannou will be the favorite, and rightfully so. So yeah, that was that fight. Unfortunately, Stipe had to get knocked out. I wish Stipe all the best. I hope that he makes a complete recovery. I hope that he's okay. We know that he has a second baby on the way. I wish nothing but good things for Stipe. And also congratulations to Ngannou. He fought an excellent fight. It was not close. He won the fight decisively. And yeah, now we have a monster on top of the heavyweight division. So who won some? So anyway guys, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, click that notification bell so you are notified every time I drop a new video, and I'll see you all in the next one.